we are going to discuss about why do most farmers fail. Why did we fail in 2023? Why have we failed in 2022? I'm using my experience to inform you on some of the things that you need to do and things that I've planned to do in order to avoid failing. And in 2020, by God's grace, end of 2024, we will have another video where we'll review what the things that we did, were they helpful, and did we get what we expected. Okay, so number one, why do you think most farmers fail? That's a number one question that I have for you, and the answers will shock you. The first one, consistency. Are we consistent? And the answer is no. I'll be honest, we haven't been consistent in whatever we are doing in our farm. That is one weakness, and that is something that most farmers, not only me, most farmers, most of you viewing this video are culprits of. You are not consistent in the produce in the things that you're farming in your farm. Things you're farming in your farm. Yes, you're not consistent in that. So today you will plant onions, tomorrow you'll plant squash, the other thing is cucumbers or cucumbers, the other thing the next day you want to plant gooseberries, you want to plant napier. You have all these things moving around. You are not consistent on one produce. You are looking at, next month is going to rain, so there will be less tomatoes in the market, so I need to take that opportunity and utilize that. No, you need to be consistent. And most successful farmers that I've talked to is they are consistent. If they're focusing on tomatoes, January to December, they ensure they have tomatoes coming out of their farm. The advantage of this is what? The advantage of this is then you have these loyal customers. You don't have issues of market. You have loyal customers coming to you. So for instance, we had loyal customers who came to our farm. They want to buy hay, bundles of hay. So we did hay for 1 year. I was focused on that. Those were one of the things that we were focused in 2021. Then 2022, we decided no hay. We are not going to do hay more or do fodder. We're not going to sell fodder. What we are going to do is focus on poultry, and we did it successfully. We have videos here showing how successful that was. And what happened? We did that project for 1 year. Then we said, we need to now focus on horticulture. Now we started doing tomatoes and all this. So we have all these loyal customers. To date, most people reach out to us. Do you have poultry? Chickens that you sell? Do you sell hay? Most people actually reach out to me. Do you have hay? So if I look back, I've lost a lot of loyal customers, and I've found where they can be able to constantly get those produces. Most recently, one of the most challenges that I got is I was looking for a contract to supply poultry to restaurants in my area. And you know what they asked me? Are we guaranteed that we will be getting these broiler chickens constantly for the next 2 years, at least? I answered yes, but then I went and sat down and said, will I be? I'm still working on that deal, but that triggered something in me. We need to be consistent as farmers. Which brings me to the second thing. Number 2, working on so many things with ties to consistency. We've worked on, I don't know, I've lost track of what we've worked on since 2021. We've worked on a lot of things in the farm. We've done a lot of things in the farm. So we are masters of none. Yeah, we're masters of none, ideally. So as a farmer, don't do that. Focus on 1 or 2 products from your farm. Specialize in that. I'm not saying do it for the next 10 years. No, specialize in that for 1 or 2 years. improve on that process, have one of the best products. If it is tomatoes, somebody knows your tomatoes are the best for 2 years. Don't stop, then venture into something else and continuously do this other thing, continuously expand to other things. And that is what I'm looking at in 2024. Focus on 1 or 2 products from the farm. There are things that we have to farm, like we have to farm, for instance, maize. For me, we are used to it, and so that is just part of like breathing air for us. We have to do maize farming, but then I'm going to see commercially, yes, I have to ensure that it's sustainable, it pays for itself, it makes me money. But then there are these producers that I want to focus my eyes on in 2024. 1, 2, 3 maximum. 3 things maximum, and ensure you do it. If you cannot sustain it from January to December, don't do it. Do something else. If you can be able to only manage one thing, like let's say if it's tomato farming, January to December, do that. Okay? So stop doing a lot of things. Like I've said, we've lost a lot of customers, loyal customers. We've done a lot of things. So when somebody comes to our farm, those are they actually when this is interesting. When around 3 guys came to my farm at the same time. So that was weird. And each one of them were asking different things, and those farmers were asking, oh, apparently does he do that? Yes, this guy was keeping chickens here. He had a lot of chickens, and he was selling a lot of eggs. That this guy was also farming a lot of managus, and we met in the market, and we were doing that. And then I said, oh yes, this guy even sold me hay, and also he was doing dairy. So wow. So there are a lot of things that are going, but none of those are happening now. Actually, all 4 people, I told them, I'm not doing any of those now. So do one thing, be a master of that. 2 things, 3 things maximum, right? Oh, the next thing, oh God, documenting processes. I don't know. I've been a culprit of that for a very long time. The only documentation I've done, there are 2. For maize, I have that documented apparently in my brain because we're used to it. And poultry, we documented the whole process, how to make your feeds, how to raise them, how to basically every single process except collection of eggs. We have that documented. Do you document your process? So we are looking in 2023. So what we are looking at documenting, removing this thing from my brain, this documentation that I have from my brain, putting it down either on paper, on cloud, because of technology, and ensuring that I have that documented. This is why I may travel somewhere on my other normal jobs, on my other activities. I may travel to a different country, and what happens? Everybody gets stuck because I have to call and inform them what I have. So once I document everything, we know the process that we need to follow. If it is, I've decided I'm going to specialize on tomato farming, then this is the calendar of activities or events that needs to happen at this particular stage of that crop's growth. If you face this challenge, follow these processes. It worked. If it is not there, find a process that will work, document it, add it to this process that we do have. And that is how you will constantly improve as a farmer, documenting and following all the documentations that you have listed down in your farm. Number 3, which is related to documentation, is tracking your budget. If you're not tracking your budget as a farmer, then you're doing zero work. And I've done zero work since 2022 because I've not tracked my budget for most of the things that I've done. I don't know if I'm making profit. I don't know if I'm making loss. Most definitely making loss because I don't track my expenses. As a farmer, your cost of production should always be lower, but it shouldn't compromise on the quality of what you're producing. Today is a theoretical class. That's why we are doing it here. and I'll start implementing it anyways, so don't worry about that. So once you have, you'll be able to see how. And I was very keen at doing that in poultry farming. We have videos, and you can see my video here where I'm working on making my own feeds. And the reason I was making my own feeds at that time is, although it was cheaper as opposed to the cost of feeds was cheaper at that time as opposed to what it is now, I felt at that time my cost of production was still high because the eggs were retailing at 10 bob. We were selling, actually, farm gate price was 8 shillings per egg. Now it's 15, it's double that. And trust you me, the cost of production has doubled as well. All right, so you need to monitor your cost of production. Let me get some tea. Yep. Before I talk about the next thing. This is cost of production with this video. All right. Next. Before I go to the next thing, how do you track cost of production? Following the documentation that you had, the processes, and the cost attached to it. Okay, so let's say you're doing tomatoes, and yes, this phase I'll be buying seeds. I'll be doing a nursery for it. Then after that, I will be plowing my land. Then after that, I will be transplanting them. Then after that, so every line item has a cost associated to it, and those costs are not going to remain constant. They will change, especially with changes in things like fuel prices. They drive high the cost of plowing, the cost of actually labor coming in, because now if somebody did something at 300 shillings last year, a task, they'll not do it this year at 300 shillings. The cost of living has gone high. So that means you need to track those, and you can be able now to at every season or every season you're planting something, have cost estimates and track them down. That is the only way you can be able to know what your cost of production is, and see where can I reduce it. Can I, instead of buying fertilizer at 6,000 shillings, can I use the subsidized fertilizer? Look at what the components of that fertilizer, what are they? Is it similar to that you have in the so how can you balance that? Play around with the cost of production and track them down. Okay. The other thing, proper planning. Oh, I've been a culprit of that. Proper planning. If you don't have proper planning in farming, zero work. Again, I've done a lot of zero works since 2021. If you lack to plan yourself well, then you're planning yourself to fail very well. That's nice. Wow, that's a very nice phrase. Oh no, I've just added well there, so it's something that has been there. Anyways, yeah, so you need to properly plan a project. And in planning, don't depend on rain. But you can use weather as a way to properly plan how you can cut your costs. So I didn't document this on my previous. So when the government announced there will be El Nino, I actually knew I didn't trust the meteorological department at that time. So what did I do? Because I know my farm where it is located it's an arid area. I knew I'll need to take advantage of these rains in case they come. And then what did I do? I planned how I'm going to plant things at this specific period of time and what are they going to be. And that helped me in what? Reducing my cost of production. Especially, I didn't do a lot of irrigation during that period of time. And I was planting crops that I thought, and I was right somehow, I thought they will not be in production. So we will not have flooding of market of that specific product. So I planted tomatoes at that time. So most people planted maize or beans. I didn't plant maize or beans. Yes, I planted beans, some, but I planted tomatoes. And yes, I got it when the prices were really good. But then the other thing was I didn't choose the best seeds. So I was facing other challenges. As much as we have this market, I'm facing other additional challenges. Okay, so properly planning and seeing where you can be able to leverage on some aspects, like the natural things that are coming, like rains and all that. You can factor those in your planning process. Okay, yes. The last one is learning from your mistakes, and also learning from mistakes of other farmers. Why am I saying this? I've made a lot of mistakes in my farming journey since 2019, I think. A lot of mistakes, and I've always learned from them. I've always improved on those. As much as I've not documented them, I've always known what my issue is. Like last year, I didn't do proper planning for my maize farming. When I was planting maize, I was late in doing my planting. So this year, what do? I need to plan and do everything earlier. Okay. What prevented me doing that last year? Probably my funds were allocated to something else that delayed. So basically I couldn't be able to move to the next phase until I get probably these funds and this farm cleared for me to be able to do this other thing. So learning from that, you can be able to plan yourself properly and allocate things, these produces, to different portions of land as opposed to where you want to plant something. So learning from those mistakes. Now, I've also learned a lot of mistakes from my neighboring farmers or any other farmers online. So some of those mistakes that they highlight is something that I watch out for. And that makes everything nice. Is it? Yes. Okay, so looking at what did we do great in 2023? What did we do? What did we achieve in 2023? I don't know. Why? I never tracked it. I never documented most of the things. All of the things is something that I just know in my head. And that is one of the things that farmers do. We do that. We believe in our brains so much that we don't want to document things down. And sometimes when you're not around your farm, things stop. Because you haven't documented things down, nobody knows the process. So probably you are going out on a vacation and you constantly on call, handling issues that if you could have documented them down, nobody will be bothering you. We didn't track our budget. We didn't track our costs. We don't know. I didn't even have a budget, so to speak, for 2023. I didn't budget for anything. I was using money that just came. If I get money from this, I dump it here. I get from there, I put it here. I put this money here. I moving money, but not budgeting. So I don't know how much I spent. I know how much I got, probably, yeah, somehow, not all, somehow, but I don't know how much I did spend, and that is very concerning. Is it concerning to you? Yeah, it's concerning to me. Now, did we achieve a few things? Yes, there are some milestones that we achieved, and one of those things is, yes, we kind of improved on the production of our farm, because I know what we sold. The prices of maize probably were almost the same as what we sold this year, but our production was higher for a smaller size of land as opposed to last year. So we did pretty well. How well? I don't know. Were my expenses lower this year for farm? Yes, they were, because I took advantage of the government subsidy this year. Last year nilikuwa na maringo kidogo. I didn't want to take advantage of that, but this year I fully took advantage of government subsidies. Now, what are some of the several things that we did well in 2023? I'll be honest with you, there are a few things that we did well. We tested some of the products that we are trying to see how we can be able to scale them up in 2024.
2024. One of those is 2023 was the first year I didn't document this, and wow, that would have been nice content, by the way. Yes, I didn't document that, but in 2023 we managed to do watermelon farming. Now, coming up to one of those things where we said starting small. We didn't start small. We tested it on a bigger land, 1.5 acres, but we got good feedback from buyers. We got good money actually from that farm at that time, because we used the El Nino rains as well. We didn't do a lot of irrigation on that, but that was not my plan. I just said, let me test this. So we got something. We documented that down. We learned lesson from that, and we're not going to repeat the mistakes that we did then. Okay, so those are some of the things that we did well. In 2023 we did some tomatoes. We learned our lessons. The seeds we used were not hybrid. They are not really, the production was low. They didn't do very well. We got invaded by spider mites. Oh, those things. Had to get rid of them. And we learned lessons from that. So it was fairly a successful year, because it gives us things that we will learn on what we can be able to do and not be able to do in 2024. So what's our plan for 2024? Our plan for 2024 is very simple. Scale down on testing a few things on the farm. Focus on 2 or 3 produces from the farm. And focus on long-term projects also for the farm, because one of the things that we don't have are long-term projects. Long-term projects are very important because they are sustainable for you for a longer period of time. So if you have long-term projects, like let's say rearing goats in the farm, that's a long-term thing. Fruits, farming, different fruits, those are long-term things, because after some time you'll start harvesting, but then you'll be getting constant money from the farm. So we don't have that. So that is what we are looking into in 2024, investing in long-term investments on the farm. The other thing that we are doing, and I will help you here, I will share this this tracker. I call it tracker because it helps me track the processes, the budget, the expenses in my farm. I will share with you. Just comment and say, I want it, or share the tracker, and I'll be able to share that with you. Okay? Plus also like the video and subscribe to our channel. Yes, so I'll share that with you. And we are going to use this tracker to be able to track everything. Every investment that we make on the farm, everything. I'm going to go crazy in tracking every single thing. Everything. So that is what you're going to do as well in 2024. And at the end of 2024, God willing, what we'll do is we will come to you and review what these changes have made on our farm. Do we have positive impact? And also we would like you to share, if you have that at the end of the year, that yes, this was helpful, please let us know that yes, this thing was helpful. We were able to track, we were able to do this, we were able to do 1, 2, 3 things in the farm, and we were able to track it using the tracker, and it was really helpful or not. If it wasn't helpful, yeah, don't fear, tell us it wasn't helpful, so that we know where to improve. Lessons learned, learn from the mistakes, and be able to improve. So that is what we call constantly improving. Learning from your mistakes and improving on them. The other thing that I will be able to focus on in 2024 is see how I can be able to market my products. This is what I learned in 2023. Not to fully rely on brokers. Brokers are good people. I'm not saying they're bad. They're good. You reduce your stress in terms of finding market. They help you take some of the risks away from you as a farmer, but then that comes at a cost. What is the cost? They buy things at a cheaper price for you. You're not able to control your market somehow, how much you're selling. So that is the challenge. And I faced this because what they'll do, they came and said, okay, your tomatoes are not really good. We are going to buy them at, I think, 700 a crate. The bread, the one for the bread. And I told them, wow, I knew the market price for a crate at that time was at 2,000 shillings. And I sold them because, I had already harvested some, and there's nothing much I could do anyway. So I had to do something. So, and as a farmer, you need to be flexible. Don't be rigid and say, no, I'm not going to sell this thing to you at this price. Let me just throw away those stuff. No. Just be flexible at that time, but find an alternative. So what I did is I found people who are willing to sell the tomatoes to our mama mbogas and supply, actually, to resell them. And I call them resellers. I was able to find probably around 5 of them, and I told them, for every crate you sell, I will give you 10% of that total sales. And they ended up selling that crate at 2,500. They got to 50 shillings per crate, and they will spend probably like 30 minutes selling those crates. So they will sell probably around 5 or 6 crates a day. That's a lot of money for them, for just something they didn't invest in anything. But again, I was making good money from that. I was oh man, I was killing it. Am I supposed to say that on YouTube? I was making good money. Yes. So I learned that, and I'm going to take that step further and see if I can be able to create more market for myself, reach out to more people who can be able, resellers who can be able to do this for me, as opposed to using the broker. Brokers are resellers again, but for them, they are like, yeah, we know the people and all this other stuff. So for them, I'll be able to like commission based sales, and they will make good money if actually the producers sell well. Okay. So that is one thing that we learned as well. So the other things that we learned in 2023 that we are going to work on in 2024 is, yes, the type of seeds that we are going to use on our farm. We are not going to use any 9 hybrid seeds for those producers that we want, because we are not in the market of, we need to have local markets and all local seeds and all that. No, we're here to make money, and for you to make money, hybrid is the way. So that's what we are looking at, focusing on hybrid in 2024. So guys, if you want my tracker for free, you are not going to pay for it. Please let me know on the comment section that you want the tracker. Please feel free to share this video with everybody, I think. Yes. And subscribe to our channel. Until next time.